Welcome back to the 7 on 8. It is Thursday, and that means it's time to ask Ellen. Today's question is coming from Paul, and he wants to know, why does sound seem to travel further on some days? Which, great question, Paul.
It is a great question. I know you're not supposed to have favorite questions, but this might be one of them, actually, because it's so interesting as to the answer. So it all has to do with the fact that sound is in waves, right? We know sound waves. Sound travels in waves, which means depending on the type of weather it's traveling through, it's going to change how it acts and how it's going to bend. So let's just set up and talk about a normal day, how sound travels on a normal day. Let me show you how the weather is usually set up. On a normal day, we typically see warmer air at the surface and colder temperatures aloft. We get this, right? If you go up in an airplane, it gets colder. That's the typical atmospheric setup. However, on special days, you get an inversion, where the cold air and the warm air are inverted. So instead, you have cold air trapped at the surface and warmer air aloft. And when you get inversion days, you get a special setup with how sound waves travel. Sound waves, get this, bend towards cold weather and away from warm weather. So when you have an inversion like this and a person is trying to talk to someone else, say at the other side of a lake, the sound waves bend away from the warm air. So as it's traveling outward and upward, it bends down towards the other person, so it can be heard from farther away. So on a normal day, sound waves, again, bend away from warm air. If someone's talking, it bends away from the warmer air at the surface, and it usually goes out into the atmosphere, making it harder for the person on the other side of the lake to hear. And of course, we have some other factors too, like wind. Speaking into the wind curves it upwards. Speaking with the wind usually carries it further, and then sound dampening effects like snow, always interesting. Anyway, I had a good time with this one. I researched it a lot. But on cold days, sound will travel farther.
I also bend away from warm air, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's true. You're like, oh.
Right, exactly.
Too much.
Matrix style.
Just like a sound wave.
Right. Ellen, thank you so much. If you have a question for this segment, please send us an email at the7on8@woodtv.com. The more cute kid questions, the better. So please keep sending those our way as well.